Jimsi Kuborn, Executive Director for the City of Converse Economic Development Corporation, and we are doing another Write Our Story today. So welcome. Today we have in Robert. Robert is one of the owners of Tomlin Roofing. And so Robert, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your business.
Like you said, my name is Robert Yuras. I'm the owner of Tomlin Roofing Professionals here in Converse. My wife and I have owned the business for about 5 years now. And we've been serving San Antonio. I'm the third generation roofers, so we've been in business generationally since 1948. We come from a background of nothing but roofers just here in San Antonio.
Wonderful. So what is the best thing about Converse as it relates to your business?
The best thing about Converse for us has been the residential expansion. We planted our office in this area strategically because we see so much growth in Converse, and we plan on expanding out towards the Guadalupe Valley region as well. So Converse is moving that direction up 1604 towards I-10, and that's really our neck of the woods. So that's why we found Converse to be the right place for us.
So that's what brought you to Converse, right? Your strategic research to understand how many single-family homes are going up.
That's right.
We have a lot of businesses who are looking at that, right? We talk about that often, and how many homes are coming in, and how many people are choosing to move to Converse. And there is so much substantial growth here in the Northeast corridor of the greater San Antonio region that goes all the way I-10 towards Houston, as well as I-35 towards Austin. It's a great growth corridor. So awesome. Well, we are thrilled to have you here.
Yeah, we're thrilled to be here.
A third generation company is amazing, and we're so happy that you chose Converse.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
absolutely, thank you. So Robert, how long have you been in Converse?
We've been in Converse a year as of November.
Right, you released out a new space.
That's right. There's a new space at the corner of FM 76 and Topper Line. What is that called?
Yeah, 10 of you in the Topper Line corridor. Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of our roads that we will be redoing to create a smoother secondary transition between I-35 and I-10, right? In addition to 1604. So one of the things that the city is investing in is creating a smoother corridor,
Right.
connecting Topper Line to 1560.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
Yeah, right. So it'll even assist your ability to go throughout the region even more. So,
Right.
But yeah, you have easy access to 1604 from that area. So on 1976, there's several new developments, some being in the commercial and some being in light industrial. So, what are some of your favorite spots in Converse?
Well, we don't miss a meal, and so our spots are all restaurant based. We're definitely El Saborcito fans, and we're lucky enough to literally be across the street from Dante's, so that's normally lunch. And then because we started small too, there's a small restaurant. It's called Taqueria El Burache, and it's actually across from El Saborcito. So if we see the line at El Saborcito is a little long, we're normally over there across the street, and we love that family when we go in now. It's a first name basis, so
Yeah,
they know our taco combos.
Yeah, Taqueria El Burache has been in town for quite some time, and they're growing as well.
Yeah.
They're growing as well, and it's really neat to see. So, in being in the city of Converse, has the EDC assisted you, and how have they assisted you?
We had a great grand opening. Worked out really well. We had the mayor came, as well as several members from y'all staff, and did a ribbon cutting. That was wonderful. It was nice to see the community just come around for the day and eat all my sandwiches.
Right, exactly. Whenever we do one of the ribbon cuttings in the community, when there's a new business in town, we typically do bring in city officials, including the mayor, and we promote these new businesses by putting them in our local magazine that goes out on a quarterly basis to every single mailing address in the city limits. Put in the local newspaper, as well as do some social media aspects as well. So we talk often in these videos about what the EDC is here to do to assist our local businesses. So of course, if there are questions from our local businesses, whatever they may be, if they're related to city services, or if they're looking for resources necessary to be more successful and expand, or if they're looking for connections in for workforce or other things like that, the EDC is here to assist. And of course, we exist because our community exists and our businesses exist, so that's why we're here to help. So Robert, if you're out there talking to another business owner, what would you say to them about Converse? What would make sense for them if they're looking for a new relocation or someone to expand?
I think something that is really beneficial to somebody that wants to expand, especially into the Converse area, is the cost of doing business here is the value is exceptional considering the expansion that's happened in this area. So the amount of population growth versus what it takes to start a business here, I mean, the value is exceptional in terms of your exposure.
Right. Awesome, great. Tell us something interesting about your day-to-day work, something that people may not realize you as the owner of a roofing company do.
Probably the most interesting part of my job is the people that we meet. Every single day, you meet a new personality, you meet a new background, you meet somebody that has a military background, of course being San Antonio, so you hear a lot of service stories, and then helping people too. You never know who's on the phone versus who you show up and meet, and it's always an interesting dynamic to our job.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the most difficult part of starting a business, do you think?
The most difficult part of starting a business is making the leap from having a regular job where somebody else has already started it. And I think, as far as I know, almost every entrepreneur started working for somebody else first.
Right.
And they had a paycheck, and at some point they said, I can do this. In my case, I was working for somebody, and they were family.
Oh, gotcha.
And upon retirement time, decisions had to be made, who was going to do what, and I wanted to truly go off on my own. And but it is scary, you know, especially when you have 4 kids. So 4 kids and a wife and lots of mouths to feed, and you say, okay, well, here we go.
And then you make that exponential when you have employees and their families and their mouths to feed.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, 3rd year in business, we go through Corona.
Right.
And I'm like,
good old
okay.
COVID-19.
Yeah, good old COVID. And so
Yeah.
for us, it was my wife and I, we had to say, okay, well, as business owners, we're not getting paychecks, and we got to make sure everybody else has it. And kind of put your head down. We were very blessed. We were considered an essential business, so we continued to work. It's funny how relevant this conversation is to business owners now.
Right.
It impacted everybody in such a way. But that's probably the scariest thing that's happened since I've opened my business. But definitely the scariest part of being an entrepreneur would be that stepping out.
And do you, as an entrepreneur and business owner, have a mentor yourself? Is there someone that you look to?
I've had a few. I look to a couple different people in my life for different dynamics. There are some that are great on like legal advice, and then others when it comes to just that stubborn customer that you just need to know how to get past or something.
Right.
Something to that effect. So for me, it's more than one person.
No, I think that's great. It's great to have more than one mentor. Some of the best approaches are understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are and how to ask those who are maybe better at something. So, absolutely. So what are some of the long-term goals you and your wife have for your roofing company?
Long-term goals would be further expansion. We mentioned that we're watching the growth go to the Guadalupe Valley region out towards Seguin. And so my wife and I would like to have a secondary branch in the Seguin area with our home base being here in Converse. So that would be really the long-term goal. And a lot of growth has been out in the Lavernia and Atkins and Floresville area as well. But we're fortunate with the access to 1604, like we mentioned a few times, getting out there from our home base here in Converse is really
Yeah, awesome. So as Converse being your home, right, your home base, and always your headquarters.
right.
What do you guys see for Converse? Let's vision for 10 years, 20 years. Where do you see Converse?
Well, big. Big. I've been coming into this area for about 25 years now. Back when there was just one Judson, or what we called one Judson, and state champs then. And Converse and Kirby didn't touch. There was fields in between the two of them. And so I've seen some of that exponential growth, and I can see it continue to grow in that same rate. And I think that what it will continue to do is bring beneficial business both from the military base and from the residential growth. You'll see a lot of commercialized growth that benefits all of us.
Absolutely. We're all working on that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Always out there talking about how Converse is growing. Again, we've grown 65% in the past 6 years. It's substantial growth. So we're constantly out there trying to get out there. And we're extremely grateful for those businesses who have chosen to be in Converse, especially those who have been in the past 2 years understanding the growth. And extremely grateful for those who have been here for multiple generations. We have several businesses as well. And some of them are growing so much they're building new facilities too. So there's a lot going on in Converse. We're so happy you guys are here. We're doing some great ribbon cutting. Can't wait to see you expand in different markets as well. And what we call Converse EDC. So thank you all so much. Again, we're here to help our